So it's not I need to get either married or focus on my career. The most successful people that I know, women that I know and men that I know, actually are partnered. Their partners are not a liability, they are a vital asset to their success. And it's not an either or situation. I think it comes down to the fact that we demonize partnerships so much, because we demonize marriage, because we demonize being in a feminine or masculine role, because we believe that we can do everything on our own and we don't need anybody. We have to prove that we can do everything by ourselves and not ever rely on anybody else. And I think that is the fundamental mistake that I know I have made throughout the years.
I would say that when you are a masculine woman and you are in a relationship with a man, you are not reaping benefits, because the only thing that you are reaping is stress.
A man's masculine instinct will tell him that there is something wrong when a woman behaves in masculine energy. And it doesn't matter if a man has left America or not. He still is going to be more attracted to a woman who is in her very strong feminine energy.
People seem to forget that we are still animals. Almost everything that we do can be traced back to our instincts. Genetically hardwired behaviors that enhance our ability to cope with vital environmental contingencies. Denial, revenge, tribal loyalty, greed, and our urge to procreate are all part of our instincts. When a woman acts like a man, she will turn most men off.
No man wants to date a man. I'm sorry, ladies. It doesn't matter how gorgeous you are, how banging your body is, how well you are put together, how you have your business in order. If you're operating from your masculinity the majority of the time, there's no balance there at all, then he don't want you. He don't want you.
Even though I grew up with these Disney films and I loved the whole love stories, I'm such a romantic, right? But on the other hand, I grew this a sort of hate, and I feel like males have grew this sort of hate as well, right? Just as a female thinks to herself, okay, I never want a man to control me, I never want a man tell me what to do, I never want to be a stay-at-home mom because that means that a man has control.
Exactly. What do you think was going to happen? Men are sick and tired of this foolishness. Modern women do not want to cooperate. They have unrealistic expectations. They claim that they are strong and independent, but complain that chivalry is dead. They complain that they don't make the same money as men, but at the same time, they complain that there are not enough financially eligible men to date. They complain about not being approached, but they reject 80% of the guys. And the list goes on and on. Shit.
The reason why they are reaping stress only is because you are in constant arguing, you are constantly wanting to dominate and control, and you are being territorial and all of that comes with it.
And you can even see there are plenty of footage on YouTube of women just becoming totally, like screaming, being very dominant and assertive in some like situation.
I can tell you now that women are full of negative behaviors and traits.
I don't want you to confuse masculinity with toxic women. Some of these chicks are just absolutely nuts.
And it makes it so that you are in a toxic relationship, and that is not good for anyone to be in. The reason why when you are a masculine woman in a relationship with a masculine man, what happens is that there is friction there because it doesn't make sense together. And the reason why it doesn't make sense is because naturally men want somebody who is feminine.
And this attraction is going to cause a man to feel the need to take care of a woman. It's going to cause him to be attracted to her physically. It will cause him to stay devoted to her.
Dating as a feminine woman is so much easier. You just have to really sit there looking pretty, and you are given the world. You are provided for, you are protected, you are treated like somebody who needs to be looked after.
She's not bullshitting you, okay? It's really that simple. Look at your history. Men took care of women because they're women. You don't hear men talk about degrees or jobs. The story about the wife store says enough. Only 2 floors and...
So now we have a whole bunch of women who don't need a man, they don't want a man, they ain't got a man. They're on an independent tick. And there's nothing wrong with being an independent woman.
As a masculine woman, when you realize that, look, I am wearing the hat of the man in the house, the hat of the woman in the house, and I have a man living with me, but I am doing X, Y, and Z. I'm going above and beyond. I am exhausting all of my options and tiring myself out. I am sitting here watching him look at feminine women right in my face as they go past. I am seeing this. It's too much, and it's going to make you be more controlling because you know you can't trust him, because deep down you know that you are not really what he finds attractive.
We lost the art of partnerships. It's something that even I had taken years and years to really realize, wow, actually partnerships exist. Not only does it exist, it's almost vital in order to fulfill and do what it is that I need to do in life.
In modern times, women are not directly dependent on men. Hence, they get the feeling of independence. So now the primary needs are overlooked and they look for more of an emotional bond, what feels good at the moment. And women's emotions are all over the place. It's not a coincidence that women initiate 70 to 80% of the divorces. You give a woman the ability to choose and she will self-destruct.
If a woman comes along who's feminine and is able to feed a man while he already has a woman, this is a problem because she's increasing his masculinity and his testosterone levels, and he will become grateful to her for that.
And this is the mentality of you, and obviously if you're not dressing and looking feminine also, then that's another reason why you know that he really isn't that into you.
Is that when Lauren Southern and I were in Russia, we were in Moscow only, but it became like a game eventually because it's something that when we noticed, we just couldn't stop noticing it. But about 80% of the women in Moscow, the Russian women, all wore dresses. And I know that obviously femininity is more than wearing a dress. It's more than how you look. It's the way you act. It's the way you carry yourself. Just everything you do. Just everything that makes you up. It will determine your femininity level, so to speak. But it was just such a shock. And coming back here, it's nothing like it.
I'm so happy that I've been able to travel to different countries and experience different cultures. And I'm telling you, the femininity level in Russia is over 9,000.
When a woman wears like dresses and skirts, it kind of has a spiritual transformation on her. And I've noticed that like when I wear dresses and skirts, I feel this extra sense of like freedom. I feel this sense of like I don't know, confidence or something. It's like this feminine power I feel when I'm wearing more type of feminine clothing. And so I've been trying to be more conscious about that.
If you were looking feminine, then things would shift. And I'm not putting all of the blame onto women, but I'm just saying if you're not happy in your relationship and you being masculine makes you the underdog in relationships, you have to change yourself and you have to change the patterns that you are following.
The older you get, maybe you have more of a desire to get back in touch with femininity, because it's kind of a pattern I notice in a lot of other women, is that as they start to age and get older, they want to be more feminine. I could be wrong about that though.
No, you're not wrong about that, girl. It's called hitting the wall, and the wall is undefeated. Women have no choice but to humble themselves when they hit it. If you want to keep a man, you better cater to him because you're running out of options real quick.
The American woman's loss has several degrees, but generally speaking, American women need to regain their femininity. We have worked very hard, and this has created a situation where we have become hard.
Like so hard, you know, so hard, so quick to fight, feisty, and there's nothing wrong with feisty, but you know what I mean, like always want to fight, always on edge, always super competitive, like men. They're manly women.
But if we don't regain our femininity, our families will continue to break down.
And to add on to that, I think there are many potential women who would want to be mothers, but the fact is they're just so discouraged. You know, they're so discouraged from being mothers. That the dominant culture basically dissuades women from embracing that role of motherhood.
And not just motherhood, but femininity in general.
Exactly.